Pip was a curious boy who loved to ask why and how. He wondered why the sky was blue and how the birds knew where to fly. One sunny morning, while watching a tiny green sprout poke through the soil in the garden, he turned to his mother and asked the biggest question of all. "Mom, where do babies come from?" Amity smiled and sat Pip down on a soft patch of grass. "That is a wonderful story," she said softly. "It is a story about love, a little bit of magic, and a whole lot of growing." She took his hand in hers, her eyes sparkling with warmth. Bram, Pip's father, joined them with a small wooden box. He opened it to show Pip a collection of different seeds. "Every living thing starts very, very small," Bram explained. "Just like these flowers, a baby begins from two tiny parts that come together, a seed from a daddy and a tiny egg from a mommy. When that seed and egg meet," Bram continued, "they make a tiny start. It is so small that you cannot even see it with your eyes, but it holds a special map. That map tells the baby what color its hair will be and how big its smile will grow." "But a tiny start needs a very special place to grow," Amity said, placing Pip's hand gently on her tummy. "It needs a home that is warm, safe, and filled with love. So the baby grows inside a cozy place called the womb, right under the mommy's heart. Inside the womb, the baby is like a little adventurer floating in a warm, watery pool. The baby doesn't need to eat with its mouth yet. It gets everything it needs from the mommy. It spends its days listening to the steady, comforting drum of the mommy's heartbeat." As the weeks went by, the baby grew bigger and stronger. Pip helped Bram get everything ready for the new arrival. They painted a small wooden cradle and stacked soft, fuzzy blankets. "The baby is growing just like our garden," Pip said proudly. One afternoon, while Pip was hugging Amity, he felt a sudden thump-thump against his cheek. "The baby moved," he cried out. Amity laughed and nodded. "That's the baby saying hello and letting us know it's almost ready to meet the world." "When the baby is big enough and the womb becomes too snug," Bram explained, "it is time to be born. The mommy's body works very hard to open a door, and doctors and nurses help the baby move from the inside world out into our arms." Pip looked at the tiny new person with the very big smile. He realized that the tiny start had grown into his very own brother. "Welcome home," Pip whispered, gently touching a miniature hand. Their family had grown, and it all started with a tiny seed of love.
Andrew the Penmaker, where bedtime stories begin.